Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. We're still seeing chatter about Meghan writing a book of her own, with more major publications picking up the story. The original source told OK Magazine, Meghan fully intends to write this book and leave no stone unturned. It's just a question of timing and how long she wishes to hold out in order to preserve what's left of her and Harry's relationship with King Charles. The feeling at this point is there's little to lose and she may as well go ahead. The process is already quietly underway. The Mail on Sunday went with a source described as a Hollywood agent who said, I would find it surprising if Meghan didn't publish her own story, to be honest. Spare is clearly Prince Harry's chance to tell his, but hers is equally compelling. I mean, how many actresses end up marrying a prince? The agent said. If she's harboring political ambitions, it would make even more sense, pointing out that Presidents Clinton, Obama and Trump all wrote books setting out their beliefs before launching bids for the White House. The agent warns, if I was advising her, I would caution against releasing a book too quickly because there is a very real danger that people will start experiencing Sussex fatigue. There comes a point where people might feel they've heard the same stories too many times. They have to change the narrative at some stage and focus on the future rather than the past. Royal expert Jenny Bond has warned Prince Harry needs to decide what he actually wants. Bond told GB News, I think even the title Spare is very revealing, but I want to know what is it that Harry wants. Feuds between brothers, between siblings, go back as far as Cain and Abel, if you like. There's nothing new about that. So what did Harry want? Did he want the destiny into which William was born? Does he want to be king? I think not. I think Harry doesn't like very much about the way the institution of our monarchy works. I don't think he'd like the fact that his wings will all be clipped even further, like his father's have been now that he is monarch. I don't think he'd like anything about it. Look back, if you like, to George VI and his brother Edward VIII, who abdicated and handed the chalice to his brother Bertie. His wife, the Queen Mother, was crying when they knew this was to be their destiny. She didn't want him to be king. So what is it that Harry wants? I have a lot of sympathy for them. They did not like the life they were in. But I can't imagine there's really anything else to say unless they have more barbs to point at their own family. From Sky News, Andrew Crofts, who's ghostwritten more than 80 books, thinks selecting an outsider to England is a smart move by Harry. Harry's ghostwriter is the former journalist turned novelist J.R. Moringer, an American author who also penned Andre Agassi's award-winning autobiography Open. Crofts told Sky News, it's quite good to have an American ghosting this book because they're coming to it with less background knowledge. So they're actually going to be asking questions that I would probably, as an Englishman, might not bother to ask because it's taken as read. So if you're appealing to a global market, just as Harry is, it's good to have somebody who's slightly outside in that capacity. Crofts says, it's unlikely the prince will have been challenged on any of the opinions he expresses in the book, as good ghost needs to be totally non-confrontational, totally uncritical. A ghostwriter should never argue with them, even if they radically disagree with what they're saying. That's not the job. Whatever the subject matter is, the ghostwriter goes along with it, just like a lawyer would. For the ghost, often the difficulty is balancing the publisher's needs with the author, because you're sort of straddled in the middle. The publisher, I would imagine, wants as much controversy as possible. They want to rile up the royal family and the media to get lots of headlines, and the author may not want to do that. You might know, as the ghost, that if they do that, they're going to have an awful time with their family. And so sometimes you have to sort of balance it, where it's still a really good read. It gives the readers everything they want from the story, but it doesn't actually drop the author in it, so to speak. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have made the top of Ranker's recently released Celebrities You're Sick of in 2022. The Sussex's pal, Oprah Winfrey, also made the list, as did fellow Montecito resident Ellen DeGeneres. A recent poll conducted by YouGov in the United Kingdom found that almost half of respondents believe that Harry should be stripped of his royal title. 44% of the people surveyed believe that Harry's title should be removed, while 32% thought that he should retain his title. Catherine Bennett, writing for The Guardian, says commiserations to Jeremy Clarkson now that his Sun column has been taken down. The celebrity must forfeit his chance to win the UK media's Most Demented Attack on Meghan Award 2022. The trade is harder than it might look. The successful Markle detractor must not only sustain Piers Morgan rivaling levels of abuse, but produce some signature excuses for his feelings. Tom Bauer, a strong contender for this year's award, could probably have pulled off his Nazi analogy. Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's propagandist, would look with real awe at what the Sussexes and Netflix have achieved, and even his conspiratorial Doria plays a really sinister role in this whole story. It helped that he was speaking on a channel where Meghan hysteria is pretty much normalized, but people noticed when he told viewers of Good Morning Britain, "It's Meghan I'm after." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good time.
All right, here's the pitch. 5 stories, they're all good news. It's called 5 Good News Stories. No negative news, just good news. Nice, easy way to start your day. Hopefully a smile. Hi, I'm Johnny Mack, host of 5 Good News Stories. You get the premise? There's 5 stories, and they're all good news. It's the number 5 Good News Stories. 5 Good News Stories. Follow the show wherever you get your podcasts.